All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hoyt Farm Nature Preserve. Today we celebrate the completed renovation work of one of the most historically significant and popular parks in all of the town of Smithtown. What you see before you here is $1.8 million worth of renovation work right here at Hoyt Farm Park, long overdue. And it goes with the vision and the promise we kept to the residents. This administration vowed to renovate and bring all of the town of Smithtown parks back to where they used to be in yesteryear as some of the most enjoyable and best run parks in the state of New York. So we're very, very proud of that. This morning, give yourselves a hand, absolutely. Before we start, I would ask you to please join me in a moment of silence for the people of Israel, for the unaccounted and the kidnapped Americans. Let's keep them in our prayers and join me for a moment of silence. Thank you very much. So I'd like to make some acknowledgments. First off, we have the lady who organizes all these events, my special assistant and public relations officer, Nicole Gargiulo. Nicole, thank you very much. We have our audio-visual staff from public safety, Patrick and Ken. Thank you, gentlemen. Public safety officers are always here for us. Thank you very much for always being for us. We have our Department of Parks, Buildings, and Grounds staff led by Mr. Joe Rico here. And my colleagues here today with us, and we're all here, which is great. We have Councilman Tom McCarthy, Councilwoman Lynn Noack, Councilwoman Lisa Inzarello, Highway Superintendent Robert Murphy, Councilman Tom Lohman, Tax Receiver Deanna Varicchio, the aforementioned Director of Parks, Joe Rico, Project Manager on this project and many others, Brian Henricks, a gentleman who has been with us for quite some time now and is responsible for keeping this park here at Hoyt Farm up to the standards that we demand and the public demands, the director of the park here, Mr. Jeff Gooman. Jeff, great job. Assistant Town Parks Maintenance Director, Tom Heister. Someone who is very, very important to us, who has unwaveringly supported us in every way, and we depend on him to help us at a state level whenever we need him, Senator Mario Matera. Senator. We also have, and we're excited about it, the newly formed Comac Chamber of Commerce. They're right over here. We are in the process of forming a great relationship with the new chamber. I think it's been quite some time since Comac has had a Chamber of Commerce. It's long overdue. We've had a number of meetings, and we're putting together a relationship which is going to be productive well into the future. We have a lot of great plans that you'll hear about in the future, and they're going to say a few words and explain some of what's going on at the end of the ceremony here. So we're gathered here at Hoyt Farm Nature Preserve to cut a ribbon for the completion renovation work that you see around you. To my right, you'll see newly constructed bocce courts, pavilions, the picnic area. Upgrades were also made to the playground, ADA accessible restroom facilities. Our parks team also installed new surfacing, as well as concrete walkways, drainage, infrastructure, and a new retaining wall. So as you can see, there's been quite a bit of renovations here at our flagship park. The makeover complements the popularity of Hoyt Farm, where concerts are hosted, large-scale events take place for the community throughout the calendar year. Very, very busy park. In January, the Smithtown Planning Department and the team at Hoyt Farm Nature Preserve coordinated with Casentino Realty Group on a total restoration and installation of the new water tower project, which used lumber from the haunted sawmill. It was donated to the town of Smithtown by Cosentino Realty Group in memory of a local resident, great man, fellow Vietnam veteran and builder, John E. Baker. So I know John's looking down today, and the water tower, if you haven't seen it, is at the other end of the park. Jeff and his staff were involved as well, and it came out really good. It was something that had to be preserved, and thanks to the Cosentino family for their donation. At the beginning of the summer, Hoyt family members Tom and Mitch Stokes drove from Massachusetts towing a utility trailer which contained large field stones embedded with bronze plaques to pay homage to their mother and their aunt from the Hoyt family. The team at Hoyt Nature Preserve also upgraded the butterfly garden areas to be deer-proof, and we do have many, many deer roaming the 133 acres here. The project, spearheaded by Dominic Guadillo, involved raising the retaining walls, and they did a beautiful job landscaping with an array of native plants. If you have time to walk up the hill later, you'll see what a great job the team did. That's really what the Hoyt Farm Nature Preserve is all about: community, collaboration, and celebration. It's an oasis for the whole community to enjoy, and that's why we invested in these wonderful renovations. I'd like to introduce our Hoyt Farm staff, led by Jeff Gooman. Jeff, thank you very much. He works around the clock to keep the Hoyt family legacy alive, and that's very, very important. They have a great staff here, second to none. That's Cheryl, Kate, Dominic, one of my favorite employees, Kelly. I had to say that, or she'd kill me. And the rest of the talented team here. They're responsible for hosting a myriad of educational programs, events, concerts, and historic tours of the Hoyt house and grounds. They care for domestic farm animals, which, by the way, are all rescues and do a wonderful job. I think Cheryl spearheads that, and she does a wonderful job with these rescues. They preserve and tend to the 133 acres of indigenous plant life. They maintain the beautiful nature trails, pollinated gardens, mature oak forest, pastures, and ponds. And they will pass this unique tradition on and the history of Hoyt Farm to future generations for all of Smithtown residents, and they do that every single day. So I think you have an overview of how important this facility is to the community, to the town of Smithtown and its residents, and we are so pleased that we were able to fund the necessary funding to make these renovations. What I'd like to do now is invite up to the mic for a few comments, again, our friend and big supporter, Senator Mario Matera.
Thank you, Supervisor, and thank everybody here and all council people for doing an amazing job to make sure the funding for this great park is here. Joe Rico, what could I say? Your vision. I know you pretty much my whole life. To all the parks people, Jeff and your staff, what could I say? Unbelievable what you've done. I've been coming to this great park since I'm 2 years old. I know I look young, but I'm 60 years old. And I'm going to tell you, I have a photo of myself with my mom and my friends up there at the Cannons when I was 5 years old. That, in other words, is precious to me. Plumbers Local 200, we have our annual picnic here every year. And Joe Arico made sure he got it done the day before with the paving, and I commend you for that. And there was a lot of phone calls, but look what this looks like. All Smithtown money going into good use because you got great government to make sure that we're spending it properly for all of our residents to have fun. Look at this. Look what this looks like. And it's going to last a long time. It was overdue, but you know what? Look at the results. I'm so proud to be here with everybody here today. Keep up the great work. God bless everybody here. God bless our families, and especially God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Matera. With that, I would like to bring up to the mic someone to make a few comments on exactly what transpired here and how he did it, and that's our Director of Parks, Mr. Joe Arico.
Thank you, Supervisor. Well, I'd like to thank Supervisor Wareheim, Councilman Lohman, who is my liaison at the Parks Department, and the entire town board for giving the funds to the Parks Department to achieve something like this. Without that, we wouldn't be here right now. So the visions align with the supervisor and the board, what we want to do. And so basically here, this was long overdue. And so the other overhangs, they didn't support the facility because it's growing every year. As he stated, I want to thank Jeff and the entire staff for everything they do. On Monday mornings, I get nervous when he comes in, but we work that out. So basically, what we wanted to do was create a form and function of the ever-growing park as it's still growing. So we increased the design of the pavilions. We had to add drainage, as Supervisor alluded to. We redesigned the playground. The surface on there is second to none. It will last many years. We have great warranties on it, and we also got to embark on the handicap area on the other side of the bathrooms, and we're going to increase that so handicap accessibility will be better than what it is right now. It doesn't meet code standards. When we're done, it will. And also with the form and function of the building, we ran into some problems with the design in reference to steel. It was hard to get supplies, but I want to thank the entire staff at the Parks Department, the Blasio Builders, and also Carmine Grasso Architect. We worked with the design. We redesigned the steel at the last minute, changed things around to try to get it. And I just want to say we're really happy with the way it came out, and we hope the entire families and constituents of the town of Smithtown enjoy it for many years. Thank you again.
Thank you, Joe, and great job to you and the Department of Parks, Buildings, and Grounds. With that, as I mentioned before, we have forged a brand-new relationship with the newly formed Comac Chamber of Commerce. We have Chris and Tom here from the Chamber, and I would ask them to come up and say a few words about our new relationship. Gentlemen?
Good morning, everyone. Just so we want to thank the town supervisor for doing this and even giving us the blessing to get the Comac Chamber off the ground. Part of the things that we're implementing, who Jimmy Manicus couldn't be here, was Comac Day, which was here last week, which a lot of people attended. I think it'll be phenomenal for Comac to have its own chamber, to support it. I think it's just hasn't had the support around these other chambers, so we want to really put this on the map. And my kids came here, we were here, we love Charlie the bull, and we feed the goats and everything, bring the carrots. Yeah, Charlie the stud, actually his name is. And Tom Morrissey, my co-president, is going to speak about the first endeavor we're doing with the town. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm Tom Morrissey, and I just wanted to thank Ed for all his help in getting the chamber done and the projects that we're working on. And also, as a person that grew up down the street, this park is phenomenal, and Jeff, you did a terrific job. I can't even thank you enough. I've been coming here. My house is literally 2 blocks from here, and I've watched this park develop, and it looks awesome. It really does. And there's a lot of great comments about it. So the Chamber of Commerce is new. We have a lot of activity, a lot of people in the community that want to join. One of the first projects that we're going to be working on with the help of these gentlemen here, and hopefully everybody here, is we're going to be turning Velmont Park into Survivors Park for breast cancer survivors. And hopefully we'll get to announce that at the board meeting soon. And hopefully it'll be built next year. So we're working on that, and it's going to be awesome for all cancer survivors. And once again, I'd like to thank you. And everybody, thank you so much. That's it.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Chris. It's going to be a great relationship. And, you know, it's important that we have a newly formed chamber because Comac is growing. We have 3 business districts in Smithtown. Comac, unfortunately, has State Jericho Turnpike going right through it, so it's mostly comprised of shopping centers and things like that. But myself and the town board work very hard to attract the right type of businesses here in Comac, and we just did a ribbon cutting 2 weeks ago with PGA Superstore, only the second one on Long Island. The only other one is in Westbury. We are so proud of that. It's a huge store. It's in the Mayfair Shopping Center. And we also cut a ribbon about a month and a half ago. You have a brand new commercial building on Vets Highway, soon to be the home of NYU Langone medical facility, another great asset to Comac. So Comac is growing. We're making sure that we bring the right type of development to Comac. And as far as the park system goes, this brings us to about 80% of all of the Smithtown parks. There are 25 of them. We're at 80% now of renovations in those park facilities. We have 20% to go. As long as Joe keeps the budget reasonable, which is difficult, but we're going to get him the money to do the other 20% of the parks. And that's a commitment we made when this administration took office in 2018, and we're going to keep that commitment. Affectionately, there are people who coin the phrase promises made and promises kept, and that's exactly what my administration has done along with the council people and the town staff here. I could not do this without them. I think I would put them up against any staff, any town board, any staff with parks, buildings, grounds, anywhere in Suffolk County. They do a great job, and I applaud you all for the hard work and the cooperation that I get. So with that, thank you. Thank you all. With that, Nicole, I think we'll stretch the ribbon out and we'll do the ribbon cutting for Hoyt. We'll do 3. Everybody ready? Yep. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3.